Family, it's your boy Z to the EO. Nighttime edition, ride with your mans. We back again, rolling. You know how we get it going. I'm up on my early morning grind this morning, my early bird shit. That's how you get it, man. I don't know what it is about the morning, but when I wake up in the morning, it's just like before everybody start moving around, it's just, don't get me wrong, I don't like getting up early. I'm more of an early bird than a night owl. But in the morning, just everybody's still sleeping, it's still peaceful out. The roads are so peaceful to drive on, man. Ain't nobody out here clowning, man. It's some pluses about being out here early before everybody get up while they still catching the Z's. But yeah, though. I want to kick it with y'all this morning about have you noticed that we chase money, man, but money ruins people, man. Money ruins people, man. Money ruins situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, that the OJs made that one song about money. I think it was OJs made that shit. Money, 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 money. That shit. They kind of touched on it, on the topic of it, what people would do for it to their family and just how things change them, And it's all under the guise of I'm trying to make myself a better person. I'm trying to do better. As soon as I do better, people start hating on me. And have you noticed that the more money you so-called get, the more so-called haters you so-called get? And I say so-called for a reason, man, because that shit is bullshit, man. Have you noticed that it's harder to divide up larger portions of money than it is smaller portions of money? For example, if you got 10, it ain't shit to give a nigga 5, man. You know what I'm saying? But if you got 10,000, you gonna give a nigga 5 of that? You know what I'm saying? If you got 10 million, you gonna give a nigga 5 of that? So that's the point I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? The more you get, the harder it is to give. You know what I'm saying? And it's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go into this so-called success, and I say so-called success because all it is illusion of success. All it is that you have a bunch of paper dollars, which is actually cotton. What I call probably presidents put on it, and people kill for it. People worship it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how, if you look online, man, some of the most so-called black conscious brothers out here worship money. They worship money, man. That shit is ridiculous. I never really cared about money, man. I never really did because, me seeking truth and me looking at things for what they are, man, and not for what I want them to be. I can look back at life and say that the best times I had was the times that we had less. That's for real. When we had less, we had more. You know what I'm saying? And that's for real, man. Like, the best times we remember the most, it's not the times when we had pockets full of money, man. It's the times that we made ends meet. It's the times where we figured out how to make it over the hump. Those are the times that we remember, man. Times that we ain't had nothing and we did so and so and so and so, such and such, and it made it happen. Them the times you remember, man. I was watching Floyd Mayweather and his daddy, man. And I just didn't like what I was seeing, man. This is some old footage where they was kind of arguing, whatever. They doing this shit on camera, whatever. I don't know. It might be publicity or whatever, man. But I just didn't like the way it's almost like they put him and his son against each other. You know what I'm saying? It was like the way Floyd acted with all that inflated personality because of all this money behind him. You know what I'm saying? This the thing. Have you noticed that a lot of so-called athletes or so-called entertainers or people that's making a lot of money out here, they only get real black man confidence with white man money? Y'all notice that? Some black men only have pseudo confidence when they in large portions or large sums of the white man money. And we already talked about how white man's money is nothing but a piece of paper that dictates your access to resources. So the more of this paper you got with such and such, they serial numbers printed on it, then you got access to all the apple trees that grow out of the ground. You got access to drink the water that's free with the land. I mean, my thing is this. Why are we paying for water if 2/3 of the so-called globe, which is questionable, is water? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Electricity. You know what I'm saying? Something that this country produced free. They got the dam set up, and they making that energy off wind money, off dams, that type of stuff. So it's not really costing them for what they charging us for. It's ridiculous. Well, I guess the only reason I brought that up is to say that if they really cared about balancing out a budget, which they don't, the smart thing would be to, give everybody a break on this energy for a minute while everything kind of balanced out, especially with gas teeter-totter. But that's, you think like that when you actually try to put something together. But that's neither here nor there. We already know what we up against with that. But I watching Floyd in his pops, and they got to arguing and all that. It just looking bad, man. As black men, we can't be out here like that, man. We can't let the enemies see us out here fighting with each other, man. Cause that just brings joy like no other to them, man. We can't be out here doing that. And it just, Floyd looked real silly to me when he was out there doing that shit, man. It's just like, I admire Floyd, every black man doing this thing, man. Like, we can go all the way back to Streets of Rage. I want to play with the black character on that. You know what I'm saying? We can go all the way back to that shit, man. All the old video games and shit. I always wanted to play with the black character. I wanted to pick Barlaw. We call that nigga Barlaw. His name really was Balrog on Street Fighter. I don't know why they call that motherfucker Balrog. We called him Barlog in our... I'm picking Barlog, nigga. That's for my Street Fighter players who know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I'll just say that. I always pick the black dude. You know what I'm saying? And I just, I don't like to see black dudes doing that bullshit, man. And I don't like what money do to our black brothers, man. It ruins them, dude. Have you noticed that a motherfucker, a dude with money is just as bad as I was saying how these pretty bitches are with their looks. It just take them to another plateau that really don't nobody give a fuck about them on. If they were still down to earth people and, still reasonable and stuff like that, you can appreciate somebody's success, but when you see somebody's so-called success, put them in a space where they not even really, admirable as a person no more, can we really say that success really helped him? Or can we really call that success? If it ruined this man's character? Yeah, he had less, but he was built with more character back then. I'm not talking about Floyd in general. I'm just talking about, people overall. And that's pretty much the way it go, man. I mean, as soon as that money show up, dude, the attitude start happening, the fallout start happening, the distance from family start happening. I've noticed that you only want to be around family. You only want to strengthen your family unity when y'all all together and y'all all ain't got shit. Now you want to strengthen your family unit. As soon as shit start going right for you, you make a few power moves right quick, and you got a couple dollars, you trying to isolate yourself from people because you think somebody gonna ask you for something. And that's what happened to everybody. People with millions of dollars go squander that money somewhere, never get to the bottom of it. When I say never get to the bottom of it, how many millionaires you know died and spent their money? I heard Big Meech from BMF kind of speaking on that a little bit. This is why he was saying why he was so flashy, whatever. He asked him why he's so flashy. He's like, nigga, I don't want to be, if I'm going to go ahead and do this shit, I ain't trying to have $10 million in the wall. And he's like, what kind of life is that? I'm not saying that I agree with Big Meech's whole philosophy and no shit like that, but I understand what he mean, that if I'm going to go out and make this money, why I'm going to go hide this shit in the wall? And just squander that shit. If I'm gonna make $300 million and just go to jail with that same $300 million, the police sees it, and you was that nigga who used to have $300 million. You ain't that nigga who got it now. You know what I'm saying? But I was just saying, just saying that shit, man. That money just fuck you over, man. It ruin you, man. And another thing that's the worst part is it do women worse than it do men, man. The way money treat men, oh man. I mean women, excuse me. Women just get turned inside out, man. Like, we can do the studies on it. I bet you a woman have a spike in testosterone with a large bank account. I bet you any amount of money. If we did start running the test right now, I ain't ran none, but I bet you if we start running tests right now, women with large bank accounts get spikes in their testosterone. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. I mean, I really don't even need to test them to know that. I know that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. We all chasing money, man. But we all know, we heard millions of people say money is not happiness. Money and happiness is not the same thing. Money don't bring happiness. Money in a way is only power because you give it power. To me, money just relieves stress, if anything. And you can't even really say that. Because it can relieve financial stress to an extent. Until another situation come around and then you got to make another hard decision. Money keep putting you in hard decisions. Should I do this? Should I do that? Type of thing. And it's just like, man, it's ridiculous, man. This is why, I'm getting off of some other shit, but I want to make this point. This is why I'm going to touch on this in a later video because we need a whole video to cover it. But this is the reason why I think that it's so hard to do business with our black folks. Have you heard somebody say that? Like, man, you can't do business with black motherfuckers, man. Black motherfuckers always want something free. I know everybody heard niggas say that shit before. And I think that's true to an extent, but I think there's a reason behind the madness, though. Check me out. This is why I think it's like that, because I think that cities originated with Europeans. We were tribal people from the beginning. Not saying that we didn't have sophisticated living. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the city life was never the black man's life. You understand? The Europeans built cities. This is the European structure of living. If you're familiar with the ancient texts, the first thing Cain did was build a city. We talking about he knew what the plan was. Look, in order to bring martial law in order to bring the new world order in, you gotta have cities built. You can't bring no new world order in without having cities, streets, and the structure built. So what I'm saying is that this plan been around since the beginning. First thing Cain did was start this city shit up. So he knew what the new world order was gonna be then. He started it. He knew what it was gonna be. He laid the first bricks to get this shit the way it is right now, for it to get to the point where we can't even go take an apple off a tree as we taking somebody else's property. What does got to do with money? I was saying that to say that our people, we were more of a tribal person. The way it wasn't, we're not individuals. And I spoke about this, I was telling one of my homeboys this other day. I said the problem with black folks is that we trying to operate under a white man's mode of operation. If you know what I'm saying, if you want to say. We try to operate, living his life. They are individuals. We're tribal people from the beginning, meaning that we were always part of a body. This is why a black man can't really get too far by himself, because he's part of a body. And this whole body gotta have a universal consciousness in order for us to have a real breakthrough. But they're not allowing us to have that real breakthrough because they're keeping us from being in a position where we can have that consciousness to where we all on the same tip. So I was just saying that to say that when we attain resources in the hood, not the hood, but at the time back in the day, we all shared the resources. It wasn't like one man had to do one thing. We was a village people. No homo. But we was people that took care of each other, though. You know what I'm saying? If we get access to meat, everybody in the village ate that meat. This is why black people are not really in the habit of paying each other. because we didn't charge each other for things. We all lived together and we all ate good and we all shared what was obtained throughout the tribe. We so far from that right now. Every man trying to put his little $2 and squander his $2. When if everybody could put their little $2 together, we could get something big and feed everybody. And this is how our people lived back in the day, and it's still in the blood. So now putting a person with a mentality like that on a monetary system, yeah, it's gonna look like he don't want to pay you. Yeah, it's gonna look like he doing bad business. It's gonna look like that because he's not a person that lives like that. This is what I believe. I really don't believe we were selfish people like that. I believe that when we went out as a tribe and we hunted, the whole village ate. Whatever it was we did, we went out and chopped down whatever we chopped down, corn or whatever. The whole village ate that corn. It wasn't like I chopped my part, I'm gonna go sell it to everybody. No, that's European living, dude. Actually, it's not even European. This is why I think the Arab and the white man got a truce, because we gotta understand, the Arab man and the white man got a truce. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no beef with them. They come over in this country and live better than the white man, be honest with you. Because I believe that the Arabs taught the white man commerce and money. Because when you think about it, the best businessmen is the Arabs. Be serious. Trust me. Can't nobody do business like Arabs do. Arabs. Somebody who might put that in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody do business like them, man. They've been had tents set up. What I'm trying to say is that they people always been selling to each other. That's always been what they have done. They never was a people that was like, work together to get things done. So this is why it's so easy for them to sell stuff to each other. And they so-called stick to the script because they both the same kind of people. I can sell something to him because I'm a seller and he's a seller. We wasn't never sellers as black folks. We all roles moved as one. So everybody worked towards a common goal, which means everybody didn't have to work as hard and everybody had more for less. And this is why I think, man, money create confusion, man. Because I don't even think our people had it to begin with. We didn't even use money. And just putting money in there is creating a whole lot of issues and situations that we would have never normally had to deal with, with each other. Think about what I'm saying, man. Think about that shit, man. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. That's why it's not a black face on no dollar you pass, dude. And this Harry Tubman shit is some bullshit. If y'all fall for that, dude, this is what I can say about it. Every other president on the money that made his face on the money had a role in bringing a new world order. So if they put Harriet Tubman on that, what role did she play in the new world order? I'm gonna leave y'all with that.